Hey, Great Couch family.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Yes.
I'm Stanley.
And Otito.
Okay, and you are on the Great Couch, where we believe that marriage and life really is not black or white, but many shades of gray. And we try to explore these nuances so we have make ourselves better and our relationships better. So, coming off the high of Mother's Day. I hope you guys enjoyed that in-depth conversation. I'm happy I was not in the room, at least not physically.
I know, it's also a women's only affair, right? But speaking of women and speaking of how I said women like to, talk, Stanley was saying how, so you're always the one talking about, the things that one didn't know before they got into the marriage. Like if you had known how much of a stickler I was for, being authentic, right? Authenticity and all that. I keep saying that he didn't have any idea what he was up to. So I guess this week is for him to tell the story of how I didn't have any idea
that I was a mama's boy. Yes. Yes, I'm mom's favorite. And rest of his siblings that are listening, yeah, I said it. I'm mom's favorite. You can find it out with her later on. But yeah, and just coming off the high of Mother's Day, I want to kind of put some cards on the table, some more cards on the table, and
regarding the influence of mothers in a relationship,
and how
known and unknown,
how potent that influence is long after they are not physically there in the room.
Yeah.
So there's always a story, right?
Yep.
Okay. So in this story, right, we just got married, and yours truly really excited for the bride that I had caught and stuff like that. At the time I didn't know, but I used to tell Momsi everything, and by everything I mean a lot of stuff.
I was just going to say, I hope you know what everything means, because I'm like, really?
a lot of stuff. Otu always had her reservations, because then and even now operates on what I call NTK, need to know. And I was like, you're overreacting, and there's no point for all this. And so she was a little more reserved, but hey, she would go along with it and tell and just, take the advice that will come from my telling as much as possible. So it's like this lady always had insider information, and until was always cut off again. And wanted to make the marriage work, wanted to make my dad, so you now continue. And I'm not sure I was blind to it, or was I really blind? I don't know. I mean, oblivious or ignorant, I'm not sure. And I'm confessing it. I was blind to it. We're smiling now, but at the time it was
after 15 years.
Yeah, it was a lot of heartache. But anyway, something that happened. I don't want to say something.
Story, but
I don't say something, but there was an episode happening within the family, not our nuclear family, but extended family, and Momsi had said something that, don't tell Otito this, because we have to keep the family secrets. Just hold that one in your pocket for now. Hold on in your pocket for now. And me, of course, now I want I told Otito. There might be sides to blame on both sides, but anyway, I told Otito, and I just told her that I have to let you know. But she had said something that really got me thinking that am I not a member of this family? That how am I being excluded from the gist?
I asked the question,
and that was an aha moment for me. That what? My point to it. My family. Isn't it the outside people we should be keeping it from? And so, with Otito's help, we had one of the, and I say we because she was in on the conversation, one of the most difficult conversations I've had with my mom to date.
In your adult life.
In my adult life to date. And I have to say, with all respect to moms and everything, I really believe that discussion set the tone for the next, up until now, series of her interactions with us, and also saved this marriage. I guess I can say that here, because it showed two things: how much I value this person, being Otito here, and how it was about secrets. Yes, it was really about secrets, but how you're not going to come and separate and conquer. What you tell one person, the other person hears, and started respecting the two at a different level. That, oh, this person is really, really important. I guess my mistake then, and I can confess to it now here, was I thought that after marriage I could have the same relationship I had with my mom before marriage, but you can't eat your cake and have it. There has to, you have to make a choice. There's freedom to choose. So what's that they say? That's what they say. Freedom is both the opportunity and freedom is the problem. So I have the freedom to choose and tell Mo, say, hey, listen, this relationship is much more important to me than what you are thinking. And also, and that was a problem because I was worried that it would hurt her in a way that would harm our relationship. No, I'm stuttering right now because I'm thinking, I'm having PTSD. I'm going back to that conversation, to that conversation at the time, you know, and it was difficult for her, you know. And coming from her point, her perspective, this is her quote unquote
beloved son.
Exactly, and you're finally choosing your wife over me, but that's really what it is, you know.
Yeah, well, so I mean, I'm gonna come in here and say, I guess because we're Africans, right? This conversation always comes up. Like you hear people say, no, don't neglect your nuclear family at the expense of your wife because your wife is a stranger. And some others are like, no, your wife is now the new family, and you know whatever goes on in your relationship should take precedent. And you know, as a wife and as a mother of 2 sons, I can see both sides, right? I may not necessarily agree with one side or the other, but I can see both sides. But I always say that, you know, being an adult requires making adult decisions. Right? This is my principle. And adult decisions involve saying, okay, this is a new dispensation, right? Or a new season in my life. How do I want to operate? How do I want to show up? And that's that thing of, you know, what got you here won't get you there. That's that idea. You understand? Like you cannot continue to have, you know, all that degree of interference and think that the relationship with the wife will go smoothly. You understand? And, you know, expect her to understand, you know, in that sense. Now, have I seen, you know, families where, I mean, everything seems fine and dandy, right? You kind of take the person as truly your own sibling, and you know, do everything that you need to do, you know. But I'm not sure that this was the case here. It was almost a case of scarcity of resources, right? In that sense. So it's one person wins, one person loses, and I'm like, it doesn't have to be you know, that way, right? You can maintain family relationships, but without the what's the word, blood oath, as it were, right? Because as I have sworn a blood oath to the family, and so it's just being able to strike a balance. But remember, I said I have a story. I have to tell this story because I feel like I don't even think he remembers, you know, but I have to tell this story. So I'm compelled to tell this story just for like when we're saying that, when he's saying, you know, I think for me, I don't even know how to explain what I'm saying because this is not the best story ever. But for me, it was such like, what is going on here? That's literally what I was thinking in my mind, and it was.
Oh boy.
I know.
I can't remember.
I didn't tell him about this story, so he doesn't know. So it was when our first child was born, right? You know, new baby. You have to. Babies don't care what time of the day it is, right? They sleep all day and kind of be awake half of the night. And so, you know, here I am with this baby, day after day, you know, all of that. So I said, look, I know you work really hard, right? There's no doubt about that. So I'm not going to disturb you at all on the days that you work because you have long days and all. But on the days you're off, you know, please help me. Not help me. Like, again, I'm going to correct that. On the days you're off, you watch your baby. Not help me watch the baby, right? You watch your baby. So I can get some sleep, right? So that I don't, you know, I don't go and be falling asleep on the stairs or whatever. Okay. So, you know, week after week, when it's Stanley's turn to kind of do the night watch, that's when he remembered to call his mother in Nigeria. Week after week after week. And then, you know, then the conversation, and you know how I say the story, tell yourself, is like, what's your wife doing? Is she not supposed to be like a stay-at-home mother, right? In that sense, I know she has not started working. So how come you're always the one with the baby? What kind of essentially, marriage is this? That was the question. So, I didn't even know about this. I just was doing my own thing, and then I heard that conversation one day. I went ballistic. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening to this, I went ballistic on your son. Because I said, hello. Of the 6 nights when I'm watching this baby, you don't decide to call because you're sleeping. Then the one night when I said, let me get some rest, is where you're calling the people in Nigeria and making it seem like this woman is making you slave over the child that you sired. Yeah, if you know nothing about me, I should have been a lawyer.
I remember this. I remember this story now. And what I'm going to say is zip. That's it. I'm not saying a word. I'm going to keep around.
So sure. I think for me, I kept saying, what type of relationship is this one where, like, I was baffled. I was like, this does not make any sense at all. So I literally had to say, can you please not call your mother on the day that you have the child? You can call her on any other day and just not this, I don't know what is going on here. That's kind of where I left it. I said, fix it. So fix it is a very common phrase of mine with my sons and their dad.
I was about to say, and a husband.
Fix it. Because like I said, being an adult means adult decisions. You have to fix some things.
But this person is not 13 years old though.
Yeah.
So something got fixed. Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
but yeah, back to the conversation. So how do you have these type of difficult conversations with mom? I mean, hopefully your relationship with your mom is great, but if not,
or even one way you can have these conversations, I have to give it to your mother. That's, I guess, I don't know if it's a level of education. That's why I kind of want to, have like, I don't know, some what's the word? I don't even know what I'm saying, because it's not like I'm saying that educated people are better spouses. No, but I think again, it offers some level of intellectual, like, reciprocity, right? That you can have that conversation. Some mothers will not hear it, like they will like just totally not have it. They will not have that conversation with you. You will hear, are you not the child I gave birth to? Like, it becomes like fracas, right? In that sense. So I have to give that one to her over and over again.
So yeah, it was a difficult conversation, and I think part of this is her openness to just try and hear the other party out, even if she doesn't agree at the time. But what were some things that
very intellectual family?
Whoa,
well, I should say mother and son.
I was about to say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but that's me taking credit. But what were some things? One, openness and honesty was very important, and then some specific boundary in this area. Remember, this thing was about telling secrets, and like, listen, specifically, if you do not want Otito to hear this secret, it had better not come to me. As in, just kind of let her know what you can expect. I'm not saying don't have the family secrets, but that you'll have to leave me out. But I think more than anything, trying to get her to walk a mile in the other person's shoe. That, listen, when you just came into dad's family and you just got married to dad, how would you feel, or how did you feel when they left you out of these conversations? Because back then, women were left out of a lot of discussions, even though they had better ideas sometimes to share. And I think that more than anything got her to kind of, but parents, you know what? I see where this is coming from. I've lived this experience, and I wish I had a different experience. And then even but with myself, and so also had to be on board. So it's not the he said you said for the conversation. But I now decided that, hey Uti, I'm going to cut down on I'm going to adopt your policy of need to know and reduce them, because it just reduces a whole lot of explaining and I was about to say wahala. For those that know wahala, that's like a lot of trouble.
Children ask me, Dad, what's wahala? What's wahala? What were they saying? But yeah, I mean, I have to give it to him. I have to, because I still remember this thing we're saying now, feeling like, geez, this was in 2018. So we had gone through 10 years
before the second shoe dropped.
Before the shoe dropped. after an ultimatum, though. I have to say that the issue did not just drop. It was like, you choose what you want to do right now, bro. Is it bra?
Bra. I did say that it was with her help we had to have a conversation. I did say that. Right? So roll the tape back. You can see I have camera witnesses.
Yeah. So I mean, I think for us too, it's a measure of growth, right? In terms of that we can sit and talk about this on the couch and laugh about it, because again, having grown up in Africa, family dynamics are not a joke. I think is what I'm trying to say, right? It can literally make or mar a marriage, and I really think, I mean, I guess that's for us between us and a relationship. We have this conversation to say that if many wives had a crystal ball to look into some of the situations they were walking into, many marriages will not exist.
I don't want.
You would just be like, who's going to open their eyes and walk into that kind of system, right? Or some existing family dynamics, but you don't sometimes necessarily know, right, the inner workings until you get in, you understand. And I guess that's why they say wives have been saving husbands since 19X. Because I also said to him, I said, if I wasn't the kind of person that I was, who would say, I'm not falling for this, but this is not working for me, right? As in, let's have a conversation around this, or just boundary setting. I think you said that earlier, just setting a boundary around the kinds of things you will take or will not take, right? And just being very clear about it, being clear about what you need, right? I don't know that would have made it.
So I and just back to this crystal ball analogy, you don't know what's in the ball, what's in the cards until you get there.
Knows.
But when you get there, I think it's a testament to your resilience if you take the cards you've been given,
dealt, and try to walk with them. Yes, and then take the first step, and then take the next step, right? And
because I really there's a saying that's coming as in that tension creates change, and then change creates tension. So you see something you want to, you're not happy with, it's a need for something to change. If both parties are willing and able, you're able to change, and then at the other side of the tension, you have the change that you want. You know.
I think. Well, I don't know I don't know how to describe this, right? Because many times we talk about the things that happen, and you talk about it neutrally, right? You talk about it neutrally and feel like, oh, whatever. But just to introduce, not introduce, but if I were to take a step back, right? I feel like all of that situation, in a sense, I had to draw on my own emotional resilience. But what do I mean by that? Because no one enters into another family, right, and ever expects that they will be treated like you don't belong, right? Because this is all about belonging, you understand? And to me, I feel like that's what every marriage is, except you eloped, except you went and you didn't marry with people's what do you call it? Blessings, right? Except that there were severe issues, and then the couple decided to go along. I mean, even that one, sometimes things get resolved and people come back together. But just if it's a regular relationship and everybody is fine with it, and you had a nice wedding and all that, you don't expect to come into a relationship and be treated like an outsider. So some of these things really tie deeply into a person's sense of belonging. Like, what is this? This is not what I kind of signed up for. You understand? And so you have to really dig into your own, would I say, well, of resilience to say, look, I know the family I came from. You know what I mean? That's why it's family dynamics. And I think that sometimes that's why people lob things at each other in terms of your family business. But it's like, the family you come from. And that's why I always say that you have to be very careful not to cut off ties, right, from your family members, because that at least, for my part of the country, you still have a share in your father's property. In my part of the country, where you still have like your own farmland, your own things, your own crops that grow on there that you can make money from. I mean, essentially, I'm saying that a lot of weight is placed on my identity in my father's house, you understand? And so I think just that knowledge was kind of what showed me up, right, in that sense, to say, look, it wasn't some street person you picked up and said, X, Y, Z. So just that knowledge is kind of show up your own resilience and say, you know what, this is this family's issue, not mine. You understand? We're gonna get to work at it, and we pray everything kind of works out well. But you see, what are you gonna do? Right? That's what he's saying about taking the cards you're dealt with and then seeing what you can make of it. Yes. I made the best out of it with you, though.
Yay! Okay, we felt this after the
I know.
But that's what we have for you for this week. And thanks for slugging out with me with us. And we'll see you guys next time on the couch from